Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. And I am your host of Talk Leadership with Cedrick. And you know, everybody needs a little TLC. And I'm excited to be here with you this night on Tuesday. You know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. Our guiding leadership principle is the law of contribution, which says growing yourself enables you to grow others. So you can't give what you don't have. So first you must grow yourself in order to grow others. Now we believe outstanding leaders like yourself will help us to help others. So tonight we have another dynamic leader with us. And tonight I want to introduce our audience. You know, every week I like to do a proper introduction of my guest. So let me do a proper introduction of our guest tonight. And our guest tonight is Dr. Sharon Johnson. And Dr. Johnson is the CEO of Cultivate Leadership and Development, LLC. She is an executive director with the John Maxwell team, where she is certified to facilitate, speak, train, and coach individuals and groups in the area of leadership development, professional skills, and personal growth. She's trained and mentored by John C. Maxwell, and mentors with his world-class faculty. She's equipped with tools and resources and experiences to help you and your team improve your productivity, performance, and profitability. She is originally from the island of Jamaica. She is a proud graduate of the St. Andrews High School for Girls. She has a bachelor's degree in English, an MBA, and with a deeper passion for leadership, she completed her doctorate in business administration with a dissertation on leadership, motivation, and job satisfaction. Her levels of success escalated to levels of significance when she started focusing on transforming lives. This led her to a career as an employee engagement ambassador, traveling throughout the United States, coaching executives on creating effective leadership and engaging workplaces. She's, like I said, she's the CEO of Cultivate Training and Development, LLC, and Cultivate Online Leadership Academy. She says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Change your mind and change your life. She says, my greatest passion is to see individuals become motivated to live happier, make healthier choices, and live life more abundantly. So let's welcome Dr. Sharon Johnson to the show.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for being here.
Good evening, Cedrick. How are you?
I am always doing great.
Awesome. I am excited to be here. So thank you again. And I am just looking for a great time.
Awesome. So, you know, Dr. Johnson, I read your bio and talked a little bit about you, but our audience really like to hear from you. You know, tell us about your journey to leadership and how did you get to where you are today?
Well, you know, Cedrick, we could start somewhere, but I'll start here. You know, coming to America has changed my life. As you stated, I am from Jamaica, West Indies. Went to an all-girls school, St. Andrew High School in Jamaica. But, you know, Cedrick, when we talk about the journey to leadership, I wasn't a leader as I thought. But, you know, I was coming to America and I joined an organization. And people said that was one of the craziest places to work. But really, I would always tell, even now when I talk to employees, my first interest in leadership was because I met a manager who told me, girl, you've got something in you. That's what he told me. You got something in you. And I was young. Cedrick, to be honest with you, I didn't believe and know what he was talking about. But with his influence and his engagement, which is why I love engagement so much, he actually kept talking to me, kept encouraging me, and led me to the point where I started into leadership and failed a couple of times. And we could talk a lot about that. But because of his influence, I got into leadership and realized really that I had the potential and fell in love with it, totally passionate about leadership.
Well, that is awesome. So, tell us a little bit about Comtivate, and I'm interested to understand how you came up with that name.
You,
Um,
one day I was in Florida at the time, and I'm sitting and I'm like, Lord, use me. I want to do something different, something fun. And by this time, I'm studying leadership, got into leadership, got a couple of promotions here and there. And one day I was like, I want to be unique. You know how you want to be different? So I think about how can I help people to communicate, to motivate. Over time, I realized my bigger strength, if not my best strength, is empowering people, motivating people. And I said, well, and I kid you not, and I love this question because in Florida, I had a pool, and I'm looking in the pool, and it came to me: communicate to motivate, communicate to motivate. And I put the two words together: communicate, motivate, and I got cultivate. And it's so unusual. And I just went off, branded it, and ran with it. And that's how I have cultivate. It actually means communicate to motivate.
okay, all right, awesome. So tell us, what do you do at Comtivate?
So at Cultivate, my one mission is in life is to, Cedric, help people maximize their potential. And because, I grew up in Jamaica. When I was 2 years old, my mom and father broke up, and that's the story behind that. She wasn't going to have it. She left, he left, and they left me with my grandmother. And as I grew up with my grandmother, I just learned the old lady skills. I learned how to do things, and just as I started figuring out how can I help people, like my grandmother did with me, help to transform me, how this one leader did with me, I started Cultivate. And at Cultivate, that's what I do. I coach, I speak, I train, I help people to identify with their inner self, how to maximize their potential. And so it's just whether it's through masterminds with a combination of engagement and the John Maxwell material, mastermind, lunch and learns coaching, but coaching is what I really focus on, one-on-one coaching, group coaching. And so at Cultivate, that's what I do. Totally.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So you're helping people grow and go to new places.
Absolutely. Find their strength, maximize their potential.
Awesome, that sounds great. So tell me, what separates Comtivate from other businesses that are in the leadership development space?
At Cultivate, I try to be the normal girl, quote unquote, the normal coach. And I think what I do differently is just the relational part of coaching that separates me best from people. I'm a Christian woman, so adding a touch of spirituality, whatever it's needed, as needed, because not everybody wants it, but as needed. I think the flavor that I bring into coaching, the humane part of coaching, the one-to-one, the energy, that's what separates me, because that's what my client says. What makes them come back is because I really try to put myself where I was to where I am and help them to get them from where they are to where they want to be. And that's the flavor that I bring to coaching.
Wow, well, that's awesome. Helping people go from point A to point B, to go from no goal accomplishment to goal achievement, is a wonderful thing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And not everybody has that talent to be able to influence people and help people become bigger than themselves. So what made you decide to be an entrepreneur?
To get people from where they are to where they want to be. But I grew up in poverty, Cedric, and I'm never afraid to say from where I am to where I was, because we grew up in poverty. Like I said, my mom died when I was 10 years old. And because of the
Wow.
problems with mom and dad, I don't know my mom. And every time I get an opportunity to interview or to talk with people or to coach people up, I tell them when there's something missing from my life. And sometimes what we find is that if we can't find our purpose, we can't find our why, we get stuck. And so I was in a very dark place, trying to figure out why he left, why she left, why they never came back. Then she died. I did not know her. And my father, I never grew up in a home with parents. So when I see and I hear people talk through what they've been through, and everybody's story is different, being an entrepreneur, specifically in coaching and engaging, my one goal is to help people to get out of that dark place mentally, to not stay there. Because I had two choices, Cedric. I had a choice to just stay in that dark place and say, oh my God, the world's coming to an end, nobody wants me. And I could just stay dark and lonely for a long time. Or I could come out of that place with a renewed strength and use that experience to help others. And that's why I do what I do. That's where that maximizing people to use their potential through
Mhm.
their God-given strength, that's where the core of my work is. Because people have yet to get out of those places. And it's a beauty when you get out of that place. That's
Okay.
what I want.
Okay. All right. I like that. So this is why you're trying to help people cultivate.
Communicate to motivate.
Okay, I got you. I'm not mad at you. I like it. I like it. We're gonna run with that.
Yeah.
So Dr. Johnson, what makes you smile when you get up in the morning and say, "Wow, this is a wonderful day"?
What makes me smile? Gosh, I have a best friend, and we've been friends for 10 years old, and she tells me every day, shut your mouth. Not everybody get up smiling like you do.
Mhm.
You know? But you know what? What makes me smile is the appreciation of life, really, because again, my experiences, what's made me smile, especially now in my position as an engagement ambassador, the abilities that I have developed over time, the people I've met over time, right? And being able to just get up knowing tomorrow morning there are going to be some executives waiting for me to help them change the way their teams are. They're waiting for my influence. I'm ready to see where they are, what drives them. I mean, and I'm totally appreciative to God for where I am. Because where I was, coming out of poverty and going through the different challenges and being able to face that with grace, that makes me smile every day. I am blessed. That makes me smile.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And it's amazing that you said your friend said, "Hey, you smile every day," and not. And she said, "Hey, not everybody gets up waking up with a smile on their face in the morning." Why do you think people just wake up some days and they're just like, and not some days, it's every day they wake up and they seem like this is the worst thing that ever happened to me.
You know what? And it happens to people. And I want to say to people, if that's happening to you, you got to find a way. You got to talk about it. You got to share it. You have to create this power within you. And some people say, oh, you can say all you want, but you have to be hungry. You have to really want it. And a lot of people don't know their why. That we've heard it all the time for
Mhm.
our mentor. 2 great days in your life, you get up knowing, it's my birthday, it's my birthday. But the next thing is my why. Why was I born? Why was I here? And I think some people have lost their why or yet to find their why. And so our role as coaches and influencers is to really get people to see that you're created for a purpose every day, every single day. And so some people, we have to work hard with them, sometimes a little with them, but that's where coaching comes in, right?
Right.
For them to find their why.
Yeah. So, if someone comes to one of your events, is that something that you help them focus on, or what type things you help them focus on if they come to one of your events?
So my events varies, and I love to create content. I speak a lot at conferences, especially career conferences, employee engagement conferences, influencing conferences. And when I get on stage, I have my sole goal is to move you. And if I'm not moving you, I've not done the job well. I want people to not just come and be empowered and motivated and walk out, but I want people to be transformed so that even years after, the change they make in their life, after they've heard me or experienced me, makes a huge difference in their life. And they can even add that value to someone else. So if anyone here wants to come to a conference with me or start one, I'll be more than happy to do that, because really my goal when it comes to conference is to influence people to be their best self.
Oh, I like that. Influence people to be their best self. So, folks, are you ready to be your best self? That's the question you have to ask yourself, right?
Wow.
Am I ready to be my best? And Dr. Sharon Johnson is with us tonight from Cultivate. She says, if you're ready to be your best, then she's ready to help you take care of the rest.
Oh, that's a rhyme. That's a word, right?
Hey, that's what we do here at Talk Leadership with Cedrick.
That's a rhyme,
This
right?
is why I say everybody needs a little TLC, because we make it happen,
I
baby. That's
love it.
it.
Cedrick, I love working specifically with teams because, especially with employee engagement over and over, people are coming to work and they're actually, I told a group last week, I was teaching a Zoom session in Fort Worth. People are still showing up at work, Cedrick, and they're just showing up. they're taking everything with them, but they're leaving their passion in their cars. And so when I see people show up like that, passion is just sitting useless. And leaders, we have a responsibility to get people to be their best selves, for them to help them to come to work every single day wanting to be their best friends. And that's where I come in,
Sure.
helping leaders to really influence like that.
Wow, that's well, that's awesome, and helping people understand how to go to the next level, not just in their career, but in their thinking, right?
Mhm.
Because your thinking really drives everything,
Absolutely.
right? So, how is your business positioned to make it through the next business disruption? You know, we had this big disruption in 2020. And so how is your business positioned to make it through that next big disruption?
One position. It's interesting. My online university. So I started working on it. I mean, I must have had some intuition way before time. So I do everything online, really traveling and speaking and training through my organization. I do that, but everything for me is online, the Cultivate Online Academy. And so I'm positioned right now to serve, whether it's the nurses, whoever needs leadership training, self-paced, because as you know, as you're running a business, you can be everywhere. So I've positioned Cultivate to serve like this. If someone calls me and like, I need to do a course in self leadership, well, get over to Cultivate and log into the academy. And so I'm positioned to serve. And in that way, I could serve instantaneously, whatever group it is. Leadership is so big in every step. And
Sure.
so at Cultivate, whether it's personal leadership or team leadership, I position the company to serve like that. Anywhere, globally, anywhere.
Okay, awesome. So if one of your clients was sitting right next to you, like if you push over a little bit, they're sitting right next to you, right? What would they say about you and your service?
They probably will just be hugging me real tight.
Not in COVID. You can't do that over here.
But you know what I think? I love my clients, and they'll be watching this if they're on now. But what I do is I try to really be human, be humble. I'm from humble beginnings. And so what I do with my client is I wear their shoe. And so I think my client will tell me that she's tough, but she loves. I think they'll say she's resilient. I think they'll say she goes the extra mile, because when I tell someone we're coaching for an hour, that hour turned into 2 hours sometimes. And I think the loyalty and the integrity and just using humor. It's just making coaching a natural thing to create change. I think that's what they'll say. She's really she's a resilient woman, and I just think I can just see them right now.
Okay, all
And
right.
I keep them. They keep renewing. So something tells me I'm doing something right, because
Yeah.
they're telling their friends that they're coming back.
Yeah. Awesome. 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 So what has been the biggest challenge during your entrepreneurial journey?
As a small business, I work full time for an organization, and I can't wait to just step away into retirement. But I've loved it so much that I don't want to leave it because I'm a coach, I'm an ambassador, I change lives. And so some challenges, I try not to see my challenges as challenges. I try to see those adversities as opportunities. But one of them is just managing a full time business and being an entrepreneur part time. But at the same time, I don't see them as challenges. I'm always looking forward to them, because it helps me to really reach my big goal of retiring and go full time and global travel and just explore the world and use my business, as a platform. So I don't see them as challenges really. They're just opportunities.
Okay. All right. And that's, definitely a good way to look at that. But we all have things that we got to overcome in our business.
Mhm.
Like COVID, for example, it's a challenge for organizations, right? It doesn't matter how big your organization is or how small your organization is. It's a challenge to overcome, right? One, if you are, especially in this leadership development space, if you are used to doing everything in person, now you got to do it you got to figure out a different way to do it. So it's a challenge to get yourself up and ready for that, right? If you are an organization that, um, like doing a lot of interactive things,
Mm-hmm.
well, that provides a challenge for you, right?
Yeah.
It's not a negative thing, it's just as a challenge. So now you got to figure out how to have that same level of engagement, just maybe not as touchy feely type
Right.
training, right?
Yeah.
So definitely nothing wrong with the word challenge and people having challenges. You just got to figure out how
Yeah.
to overcome those things.
And you're right, Cedric, because a lot of what I do, I mean, for the last 3, 4 years or so, lived in hotels. I call it lived in hotels and airlines and airports and just traveling. And that's how I gained so much weight because my teams are in like Louisiana, New Orleans, and El Paso, and they feed me. And you miss that touchy feeling. But those interactive sessions in the classroom, those sessions where you want transformation to take place, especially when you're training folks on engagement and building stronger work teams. But now we have to flip the switch, right? Now we got the breakout rooms and we got the Zoom rooms and the creativity. So I want to tell people who are, I spoke to someone last night and they talked about, I don't want to really do Zoom because no, 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 no. You got to be creative. You've got to think, how do I still serve where I was in person and take that right back online, because it can be done. And many young people and or entrepreneurs are struggling because they're scared of their creativity, not realizing that it's powerful. So
Sure.
I
Yeah,
love that.
absolutely. Absolutely. So I see Damian Johnson is on here, said big ups to Jamaica.
Big up to Jamaica.
And Coach Gordon says, building that online platform gives you that 24/7, 365
Yeah,
accessibility, right? For your
absolutely.
clients to grow globally. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. So, leaders come in all different types of size and packages and with different strengths, right? So, what are strengths that you believe all leaders should have?
Hmm. I could think of so many, but you know what comes to mind? So my passion is leadership. Having, again, I always go back to being influenced by that one guy, but then I went on to study it. So my dissertation is on leadership, so I studied it profoundly. And what I realized is that an even in-person Cedric, leaders got to be resilient. Leaders can't give up. That's what I teach leaders every day from 9 to 5. They've got to be resilient. They've got to be involved. They've got to be committed. They've got to be engaging. That's a matter of fact, when I wrote my book, Run Your Race, leaders have to have the right attitude, as John Maxwell says, it's everything. And a lot of leaders are still realizing it is everything. Every day you wake up and you put you put on your engagement coat on and you step out, you are leading without speaking. So leaders have to walk the walk in that way. And when they talk the talk, that talk has to reflect them, the person, not their title, but their disposition. So I would just say that's it. They've got to be resilient, they have the attitude, commitment, and be enthusiastic, because that unfolds the totality of that leader.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And leaders, um, good leaders ask great questions, right?
Mhm.
So, what are some great questions that either you ask or someone has asked of you, and you thought, "Wow, that's a great question."
Easy. I can think of so many. So today, let's stay recent. Today, in a coaching session, one leader asked me, I just can't get the people to do what they're supposed to do. What should I do? What do I need to do to get these people to get it? They don't get it. And so my question to him was, tell me more. Tell me more. And so what he's trying to say is that he can get his people to be engaged. And so what I shared with him were some of those principles. Gallup has this unique 12 elements of engagement, which is I'm certified with that. And if the first question I asked him was, do your people know what's expected of them? Do they know do they know their mission and purpose? And so those he was like, do they understand the impact of relationship at work? I even asked him, do you give them the opportunity to be their best? And so as we explored those, he was like, you know what? So I said, now you know you have to start connecting with them on a certain level, one on one. And there are many questions, but the big questions I ask every leader at the initial stage of any part of your leadership: do the people you lead, whether at work, at home, at church, or school, do they know what's expected of them?
Great question. Great question.
Mhm.
That's awesome, folks. So she shared with us that leaders, from a leader strength standpoint, should be resilient, committed, and engaging. And then questions. Good leaders ask great questions. Questions leaders should ask is one, tell me more, right? Two, do your people know what is expected of them?
Mhm.
And then number three, do you give your team the opportunity to be their best? Those are three great questions, folks. Awesome. So thank you very much for sharing that. So, many times entrepreneurs give in. They throw in the towel.
Mhm.
They don't know what to do, so they get frustrated and they just say, I give up, right? What advice would you give someone who is right now, they may be listening in right now live or on the replay, but they're considering giving in, throwing in the towel and saying, I've had enough. What advice would you give them?
So I could give him a lot of advice. The ones I would probably give myself, and that one, what is that thing? What do you want? What is that one thing? That one thing, when you narrow it down from a combination of things, what is that one thing that you want? Ask someone yesterday, and I'm always saying the recency. How do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant when everything is so big? Find the one piece that you love and eat it in slowly, right? That's what I say. But most important, what is the one thing that you want? Find your niche, study the art of that niche. If you love to talk, study the art of talking. If you love to draw, study the art of drawing, but be passionate, be hungry, and then jump. Don't be afraid to jump and do what you want to do, because there are no failures in jumping.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think I answered it in so many ways, but it's so inclusive of how they think and jump and how they bite and eat that which they want. Because we are choking sometimes, and I say we choke sometimes because we want to bite a big chunk and it can't go down. So I would just say to them, find that piece, that one piece, and eat slowly at it.
Okay. Awesome. 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 Absolutely love that. So, every now and then we get an audience member, or every now and then we'll get may have a client that say something this has been a defining moment in their life, right? So for you, what's been one of those defining moments in your life?
A defining moment in my life. Let me see one of those defining moments in my life. I would want to say, what comes to mind really quick is realizing that when I joined my organization, I was at the very bottom, right? Entry level. And I was able to use my dignity, then my knowledge, and work with teams. And the defining moment now, I am the coach of those teams. The teams that taught me, I now teach them, right? So that for me was a defining moment when I turned around and got that promotion into who I wanted to become. I actually dreamt it, wrote it down, and then I became it. If that's defining enough for me, that's a defining moment in my life when I became a coach for the people who coached me.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. I really, really like that. So, hey, help our audience with a couple of tidbits. You have a lot of experience
Mhm.
in the leadership development space from an academic standpoint, and then from a practice standpoint as well, with teaching people. What are one or two things that you've learned about yourself being a business owner?
Being a business owner, let me see, I've learned that I've got to love people. You got to have a passion for people. If you're going to have a business, and depending on the type of business, you got to love the business. You're not in the business. Money is like oxygen. We need it, right? But when you're in a business, it's more than that. You have to have a passion for the people come to you, right? You have to be open. You got to be strong. And at the same time, most importantly, you have to be able to see what people want, because it's not what you want when you have a business. Really, it's your business. What do your customers want? What do your clients want? And you fill that need. So be ready to fill the need if you're going into a business, because people are going to come and you're going to be needed, if that answers that.
Okay, all right. I absolutely I like that. So we have a segment, Dr. Johnson, on the show that's called "Would You Rather." All right. So let's play a quick round of "Would You Rather." Let me put my sign up so that people know we are playing "Would You Rather," and we tell the audience to play along with this as well. All right. So these are not hard. These are easy. All right. Would you rather have a life rewind button or a life pause button?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's not easy. Would I rather a life rewind? Ooh, or a pause button? Maybe I love to rewind. I don't know. Maybe I love to rewind and see.
Okay. All right. So would you rather know all the world's languages or speak with animals?
Oh my goodness, or speak with animals. But animals are not going to respond to me. So I want to know languages so I could be able to respond.
Well, they have their way of communicating. So maybe you would be able to learn how to communicate like the way that they communicate.
Oh my goodness.
Right. So would you rather be stuck in an elevator or stuck on a ski lift?
Oh, I want to be in the elevator because I'm going to meet people.
Okay.
Somebody's going to be in there with me. If I'm on the ski lift, if I'm up there just hanging out, I want to be with somebody.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully somebody's in there.
All right. So would you rather be an adult your whole life or a kid your whole life?
When you're a kid, you're seeing the world so differently. When you're an adult, and that came to, as an adult, you have your own perspective form. But I see, as a kid, from the mouth of babes, you live with so much more humility and acceptance and love. That's what I think.
Okay. All right. So I see Anna says she would like a rewind button and the world's languages as well. Okay.
Hey,
all right. So a couple more. Would you rather be best friends forever with your favorite celebrity or date your celebrity crush for only 2 years?
Date my celebrity crush?
For only 2 years, or be best friends forever with your favorite celebrity?
I want to be best friends forever because we could go for a long time. 2 years, lock me in. What happened after 2 years?
And it goes away.
Best friend forever because then I'll be living.
Okay. All right. So would you rather pick the year you die or the way you die?
Ooh. Well, I don't know how I'm gonna die, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but this is you get a choice. You get a choice, either the year or the way.
I'll probably pick the year because then I would live if I know when it's gonna be. I would live in like it's gonna be tomorrow. So I'll be living my best life, doing the best things I want to do. That's what I will do.
All right.
I don't know what else somebody would do.
All right. Last one. So Edward Garden says he picked the year too.
All right.
So the last one is, would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
What am I going to do with those gift cards? Real money, I could serve people. I could give to people. I could share life with people.
Well, Amazon is like real money. You can give them gift cards.
But it'll be just Amazon. I'll be stuck in one spot.
Yeah, but you can buy everything on Amazon. I mean, what can you not buy on Amazon now?
I can buy life.
With real money, you can't buy life.
I mean, I can't buy life. I won't be able to give. I want to serve people. So if I'm going to serve people the way I want to and the way they need it to be served, Amazon would restrict me, right?
Okay. All right.
That's what I think. I mean, I don't know what anybody else think, but I want to be free and live. That's my life. My life is about living it freely and abundantly and just happy. I don't want anything to box me in.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right. Well, you had the choice, right? Whether you want the $1 million in Amazon gift cards. So Jeff Bezos, I'll tell him to go ahead. Don't worry about it. She don't need that million.
That's right. Real money with real people.
Okay.
I love it. Excellent.
Anna said, Ed Garden says he want the real money. Anna says she want the gift cards, but Ed Garden also said don't forget him when you got the 100,000.
Don't worry, Gordon. I'll take care of you. Real money.
Yeah, she's gonna give you $10. That's what she's gonna give you. So, hey, thanks very much for playing that segment of Would You Rather.
It's fun.
Yeah, we just try to break up the monotony, and I see Joanna finally jumped on here. She's been over there playing around in her office, and I see she jumped in now.
Real money. That's right. That's right.
So, growth has to be intentional, right? In order to grow, right? That's what we've been taught, that you got to be intentional about growth, right? So, what do you do for? I know you spend a lot of time helping other people grow, right? So, what do you do for personal and professional growth?
Invest in myself. I dream a lot, and I've learned over time that dream is free, but that journey is gonna cost you. And I invest in myself. Sometimes people say, why do you do it? Because when I invest in myself, I could give more of myself, right? You can't give what you don't have. And so my personal growth is by those investments, Cedrick. That's what, even when I was out there, just being a craft member in my team, I was investing in myself. I went to school for 14 years. I'm gonna pay somebody back all that school loan or something. And I may be a fanatic at it, but I feel like you can't give what you don't have. And if you're gonna coach and if you're gonna train people and you're running a business, you've got to invest in yourself, because people are looking for people who invest in themselves before they can invest in you.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you on that. So outside of John Maxwell and his team, do you have other mentors? Do you have a mentor that you can turn to? And if you do, so what's some of the things that they've taught you or helped you realize about yourself?
Well, I have two mentors, and one of them is in my organization, an HR manager. And so one of the things is, while I know so much about leadership, I still want to learn a lot more about HR. And this coach, I've had her going on 3 years. And when I talk about, she's teaching me that side of HR. So important, because it's part of, you're running a business, you never know when you're going to have a big team. And then I have another executive who just helped me in my career development, my thinking patterns when it comes to moving up to the next level. And so we actually switched coaching, but he's in a higher position than me. And so he used me for my coaching material, and I use him for his executive training. But definitely, those are my two mentors and I've been just meeting with them consistently because they're part of my growth.
Okay. All right. Well, that is awesome. And a little bit of bordering, sharing back and forth. That's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. So, hey, tell us something interesting about yourself.
Oh, Lord, about me. I'm funny. I love having fun. I love to travel. And if anybody don't know yet, I love to dance. I love to dance. So about me, oh gosh, there's so many things about me, but my life is an open book. And I enjoy being with people. I'm married for 33 years, right?
Okay.
Married, and then I have 3 children. So I love being, and I have 2 grandchildren. And so I love being with them. But most importantly, I love dancing. I love going out, and I'm Jamaican. So you play the music, I dance. You just need to put the music on right now, and how we could just get this party going, Okay. But that's about me.
Okay, all right. Well, that is good. So, Tell us about one of the upcoming events. You have an event coming up about becoming a person of influence, right?
Yes. And I hope, listen, this will one day, 1 hour session on becoming a person of influence. That book, Cedric, changed my life. And every time I share it with someone, it changes their lives. I use it to help coach folks around, but I put a different swing to it. So if you've read the book before, you want to join me for that. Because what I do is I teach people how to move from maintenance mode to multiplication mode. And I love doing that, because when you're influenced, it's not just to become a person of influence, but really learning the strategies of that. I've got that coming up. I'm doing a 1 round session on the leadership game. A lot of people know it, but I call it the winner's locker room experience, because I love to play with people who are different, who don't know each other, to really bring them to a point where they start to know themselves and really start seeing their team. So I've got that coming up. And of course, on my site, I have my continuing coaching program where I help people just coaching using different coaching strategies. There are different, types of coaching that I do there. But my big event, well, the next event that I'm coming up, and I'm doing this one, becoming a person of influence. I'm really doing this one for just helping people to get back on their feet, because people need to get back. And the biggest struggle, maybe it's financially. So this one is affordable, and I just want people to join me and really push through and know that they were born to be influencers. And so just want to do that.
Awesome. So the link is in the comments, folks,
Yes.
for everyone that wants that. And so, we've all had successes. You've had a lot of successes in your life as well, but we've also had failures from one time and another, right? So tell us about one of your failures and the lesson you learned from it.
I have failed so many times, Cedric. I have failed so many times, but every time I fail, something happens. So the one that comes to mind was when I was studying, because I was hungry. I want to have my degree so bad. And so statistics, I had a statistics class. And Cedric, I failed. I kept failing the class. I couldn't, I even went on a cruise. You know how you try to say, okay, I'm just going to do something for myself?
Yeah.
Failed the class, failed the class. And I couldn't, it was like a dark room. And I was crying some days, like, I can't believe it. I could not go the next step. And so
Wow.
one day and you know what? There's got to be a way. I always tell myself, every time I'm failing, there's got to be a way. Something I'm not doing, or something is not happening. It's not clicking. Believe it or not, I went to a Zumba class, and there was this guy there dancing, and they were all women. I don't know what he was doing. He was just dancing, and we were just laughing at him. But there's something about it that kept my eye on him. And he was cute too, that too. But
Yeah. All right, I guess so.
he was a cute older man. But I just had to slide that in there. But I kept looking at him, but just because he was dancing really funny. But you know what? Instinct. And I want to say this, that God put people in places. Because I kid you not, when we finished dancing, he was having a conversation with somebody, and I heard the word statistics. I was like, hold up. I know he did not say statistics. And he said, I am the chair at the university. It was in Florida. And Cedric, my angel body ran over to him. I was like, excuse me, did you say statistics? He says, yeah, I teach statistics. I was like, oh my God, you must be an angel. Oh, you've got to be my angel. And then I explained to him, I was very open. I told him, look, mister, I'm a failure at statistics, and it's the thing that's going to save me in my next life. And those are my words to me. He says, what do you mean? And I told him, I'm failing statistics in college. I can't see it. And I could make a long story short right here by that man just simply looking at me and says, what do you want me to do? I said, I want you to help me. Can you help me? He says, I don't know. I don't have time. I said, well, I'll pay you anything. Anyway, the next morning, I gave him my number. I said, please, 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 because I've seen him before, but I've never paid attention to him. And my failure story here was that I was open. I told him, I cannot do this thing. And Sunday morning, I was pulling into church, and my phone rang, and it was him. He said, Miss Johnson, can you stop by today? You know I can. Yes, I can. And I went to McDonald's. I called my husband. I was like, look, you've got to have McDonald's for dinner today because I met a man who's going to help me with statistics. And Cedrick, him and his wife took me like a baby. And when I was through with that third round of statistics, I was helping people pass the statistics class. My story here is God put people in places that you got to be open to find that angel because they're there.
Yes. Well, you're absolutely right about that.
Mhm.
Well, that is awesome. So, Tamika Williams, I see you out there tonight, and I owe you a book because I thought about it today. So last night on my show, I had the author of this book, 30 Observations on Leadership, and I forgot that I was going to give away some things. It's not that book; it's another book. But I forgot that I was supposed to give these things away, and I thought about it today, and I went, wait a minute, I didn't give away the prizes. So I know Tamika was on last night, so I saw her pop up here tonight, and I said, I owe you a book. So I'm going to make sure that I get that to you. I'll send you a private message, and I'll get your address and get that sent over to you. So getting back to your story on this person helped you. We all need those people to help us get over something, right? Some challenge in life, right? Some of us need more help than others. I need a lot of help, so I got to have a lot of people around me to help me, get through and look good and all that good stuff, right? That's awesome that he was there to help you get through and get over.
Right.
So how can our listeners, because we're going to be wrapping up here in just a little bit, how can our listeners stay in contact with you?
Well, you could definitely go to my website, that one word, Comtivate. As a matter of fact, if you Google Comtivate, you will find only me because nobody else is using that crazy language except me, and I love it. Comtivate, but also, and I think you have it in the link right there, Cedrick. Is that correct?
Yeah. Your website is on that.
Right. So check out the Comtivate Academy. My telephone number, could text me at 954-802-8515 if you've loved my time with Cedrick and you want to connect with me. I would love to have you on my email list. I have some emails that's going out, practicing gratitude. I think it's in the link. I've got an ebook out there as well. And I have about 8 books, Cedrick, about 5 Kindles and 2 books on Amazon. One of my greatest book. Maybe I'll do a giveaway with you. I don't know, but certainly I'd love to give it away.
Sure.
I've got some books right here. I've got the Live, Energize, Activate, and Discover Your Power. That's on Amazon. Definitely, you could check me out at Amazon with that. I've got another book called Attitude Essentials that's going on.
So the first person that type in Comtivate in the comments, they will be the winner of that book.
Woohoo! And I'll mail it out. Definitely. Definitely. And then on my other book, Run Your Race, the Run Your Race book is actually my biggest seller, Cedrick. That book is about resilience, attitude, commitment, and enthusiasm. But in that book, I use I talk about the SMART process in running your race.
We have a winner. I see Dr. Ed Garden is a winner of your book, Comtivate. It's not called Comtivate, but he typed in Comtivate first.
Absolutely.
Right. So awesome. So you'll get that book to Dr. Sharon will get that book to you, Ed. So won't you send her an email and she'll get that book to you. All right. You have another book you want to give away?
I've got the Run Your Race. I could give away about 4 books tonight. Let me just get them.
Okay. All right. So Run Your Race. The first person that types in Run Your Race, that's who will get the book.
Send me an email, and you have the email is Comtivate Leadership.
It's in the comments. So we're waiting on Run Your Race.
Run Your Race, the blueprint for success. My clients love that book because it's a roadmap.
Well, we have a winner here. Alicia.
All right.
So just send Dr. Johnson an email. Her email link is in the comments. Send her an email and she will send that to you. And what's your other book you said?
I have Live, Energize, Activate, and Discover Your
Oh
Power.
yeah, that's going to be way too much. All right. So the first person that types in live,
Live. Just live. Lead. Type in lead. Lead. Lead.
lead, Lead. All right. First person
Lead.
that types in lead, Lead, you will get that book. All right. You already
Absolutely.
won. You can't win twice. So
And I'll give away another Run Your Race, but I love sharing those, because it's just really, it has an excellent blueprint for success and
all
people
right. So
will
we
love
have
it.
a winner here. Uh,
Joanna.
yeah, Joanna just won lead.
Yes.
All right. One more. You say have one more book, right? Was that
I'll,
what's the other
I'll
one?
give out 2 books of Run Your Race.
Okay, 2 books of Run Your Race. Okay, all right, perfect. So then, so we already have Alicia with Run Your Race. We have Joanna with Lead. We need one more person to type in Run Your Race.
Run Your Race.
Run Your Race, and then you'll get that book. Whoever that
Absolutely.
is. I see Amber just joined us as well.
Awesome.
Run Your Race. We're waiting on Run Your Race. Sort of like we're at the horse race track.
Right, I know, right? Hey, Cedric, and for folks out there, the leadership game that I'm doing is complimentary, it's virtual, and it is amazing. So anybody want to jump on and sign, just jump on the game. We're going to play it on the 26th. It's 1 round, complimentary. I would love some people to just sign up for that.
So
It's so much fun, and I do it in such a fun way with a little reggae music too,
okay. So we have a winner, Miss Amber Guillory Higginbotham.
Amber, awesome.
She is the winner of Run Your Race. So Amber, let me re-put her Dr. Johnson's email here in the link.
Yeah.
Just copy her email and send her an email and tell her the book you won, and she's going to get that sent out to you.
Awesome.
All right.
Amber. All righty.
Put that in the comments one more time here.
I love giving things away. So if you want more stuff, you definitely sign up with the email or tell me, add you to the list. But I'd love for you to get on those email lists to get those
Awesome. So we are here at the end of the show. So boom, the email link is there in the comments. All right, so copy that and send that over. Don't send the email to me. Send it to Dr. Johnson, and she's going to send you.
I'll mail the books out.
Yes. So congrats. And Tamika, I have your book, so I'll be sending you that book. And I'm actually going to include a couple more for your daughters as well. So Tamika goes to my church, so she gets a little extra from me. All right, so awesome. So thank you very much, Dr. Sharon Johnson, for coming on the show. I'm excited that you were able to come on, and hopefully everyone had a good time listening to you today.
Thank you, Cedric, so much. And thank you, everyone. If you're a woman out there and looking for a little spiritual, I do lead a women's group, Navigating a Life That Matters. We meet on Facebook as well in person bi-weekly. On Saturdays, we're studying prayership and leadership. So if you're interested in joining a group of women bi-weekly, just do a little praise and pray and lead, be sure to join the team so we can just change our lives one lady at a time.
Awesome. Well, folks, I always tell you every week, make sure you have a great rest of your week. Remember to catch us on next Monday night on Talk Leadership with Cedric at 6:30, every Tuesday night at 5:30 on Talk Leadership with Cedric, every Wednesday at noon with Cut the Cord, and on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Central Time, we will be on the radio with Talk Leadership with Cedric on the radio, and a cup of Joe. Well, it's Talk Leadership with Cedric and a cup of Joe on the radio, 2 p.m. Central Time at ibgr.network. And Fridays I take off. That's the only days I'm not on the air. I just chill out. So
I think we should just stay on Friday.
Hey, yeah, that may be coming. Everybody needs a little TLC, so and I'm gonna leave you with what I leave you with every night. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and don't be on the menu. Thank you guys, and have a good night.